Well, look at what I got here. Habaneros. Or at least that's what the seed packet said. Um, I got a bunch more on the plant. Last night it was supposed to have gotten down to 32, but nothing froze. So um, I'm not sure what it really got down to, or maybe because this is so jungly, it kind of insulated itself. And plus, those black tires, they act like a heat sink anyway. Because right now those tires aren't even cold. They've been out here all night and it's morning time. It's like 7 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. So those tires should be cold, but they're not. The sun heats them up every day, and I think that's what. Yeah, those tires are actually warm. The ones in the sun are probably, they feel like they're at least 70 degrees. So anyway, if anybody ever grows in tires and you ever wonder why, you might want to. Um, when they're black like that, they do insulate pretty good. I know I had talked about maybe painting some of them white, so that they would be cooler in the summer, because I will admit in the summertime these things are unbearably hot. But perhaps if you lived in a climate to where it doesn't get that hot in the summer, it gets 100 plus in the summer here. So these tires are over 100 degrees when it's, the middle of the summer. But like now, I think the temperature said 48 when I walked outside. These are most definitely not 48. They're much warmer than that. So yeah, that's one plus to the tires. So none of my stuff froze. I kind of don't want to let these pepper plants go because I got so many peppers on there, but I can still use the green peppers even if the cold kills them. I don't think the cold's gonna kill the kale. This is Russian kale or whatever. It gets much colder in Russia, or well, they call it Russian kale. It might not even survive Russia. I don't know, but I've never had a problem with it surviving without being covered up. I got some volunteer tomatoes in there. Yeah, those are gonna die. I don't care. They don't have plants on them. I got potatoes in there, and I've got some sugar snap peas in there. But like I said, maybe the tires will protect them. If stuff dies, whatever. I know my garlic will be fine. I've never covered it, and it's gotten down freezing, below freezing. My onions I never cover. This was a volunteer collard that came up. That may or may not make it, I don't know. But if it doesn't make it, I have plenty of collard seeds. As a matter of fact, I got some volunteer collard plants from seeds that fell in there. My rosemary, I've never covered it. It's been fine. This cucumber I know is going to go, but it's time for it to go anyway. The beans did fine. I think I'm going to pick the last of the beans off of it because I think I want to make a shepherd's pie, and I want to put those green beans in the shepherd's pie. So those will probably be the last of the green beans that I get. But as you can see, this stuff is planted so close in here, and the sun beams on it all day and warms all this up. So I'm thinking that maybe that's why I did so well last night. Like I said, it was only 32. It's supposed to get down to 30 one night. I forget what night that is, or is it going to get down to 29? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm not worried about a lot of this stuff. I got tomatoes over here and beans right here, but I wanted to show you guys first. You can see my tomatoes are still putting on. So if you can, guys, you can see down in there some pretty ones. If you can, leave your tomatoes alone. See what they do for you. There's 3 more. There's a huge bug of some sort on that one. Some type of grasshopper. I'm not going to disturb him because if he jumps and flies, I'm going to scream. There's some more. I actually ended up topping these tomatoes. All of those blooms right there are probably going to set. And that's why I topped it. Because if it doesn't get cold enough to kill this, and I'm growing tomatoes up that high, the weight of the tomatoes is probably just going to... I'm going to try to tie it to the bamboo, but the weight of them will probably just break that right off. Because these tomatoes get... Let me see if I can show you the size that they get. That's my hand, and that's a tomato. So if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, and I got 2 big ones right in there. Actually, I think it's 3. I think there's one beneath it down here, which you can't see too well. There you go. So these tomatoes do get pretty big. These are ox hearts. And I think as far as my big tomatoes grow, because they're so meaty and they produce so well, I messed up. I planted them late, so I didn't get really good production until the fall. because in the middle of the summer they quit setting fruit. But I think as far as big tomatoes, that's all I'm ever going to grow again. So I'm going to save seeds from those. Let me show y'all down in here. See, once again, it's a jungle. If my tomato plants go, I'm just going to harvest the green tomatoes off of them because my neighbor loves green tomatoes and I'm going to give them to him. I did that last year. He got about 30 green tomatoes from me. And then I wanted to show you guys this. I had a volunteer. Pepper's still looking good. These get outrageously hot too because in the middle of the day the sun just beats on them. But I had a volunteer tomato just show up over here on the side of the house and it set fruit. I have no idea what kind of tomato this is. I didn't plant it. That's the biggest one. Let's show you how big it is. It's not that big. But yeah, I had 2 volunteer tomatoes over there that just decided to do what they wanted to do. I planted some more garlic and I planted them in these. These are horrible for me, for herbs. They're just horrible. I'm going to say in the summertime, it's hard for me to keep these things watered well, but I'm thinking in the fall and the winter because it's naturally cooler, water doesn't dry up out of them so fast. I'm going to try garlic in here. So you can see the garlic has started coming up. Well, let me see. And each one has 1 clove of garlic. So I'm going to try to maybe grow 1 head of garlic in each of those. That's 4 high, so that should be 16. Oh, no, 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Yeah, I can count sometimes. And then I put onions in these. These are the Egyptian walking onions. Both of these have been in here maybe 4 or 5 days. So they're still looking good. I planted some garlic by those peppers. And I don't know if you can see that waving in the wind. That's a sugar snap. I don't know if I'm going to get these sugar snaps. I think I planted them too late. Or, well, honestly, we really don't get freezing temps this early. And that's part of the problem. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Oh, well. It is what it is. Everything over here looks pretty good. The grapes went ahead and dropped their leaves because it got cold. But grapes are deciduous. They're supposed to do that. So I'm not worried about those. The blackberry leaves are still holding on. But the blueberries, blueberries like cold weather. Because anybody that knows blueberries natively grow like in Alaska and really cold places. At least wild blueberries do. So I'm not worried about the blueberries too much. The trees, they're probably going to drop their leaves at some point. That's normal. Not worried about that. The orange tree, I'm going to put in my greenhouse because I almost killed it last year and I don't want to do that. The kumquat, for now, I think is okay. But if I need to, it'll go in the greenhouse too. And I'll just make room. Or I'll at least put it under my carport or somewhere where it's a little bit more protected. Because last year I put the plastic on and I didn't put it on properly. And yeah, I almost killed my orange tree. And I don't want to kill it because you put too much work in the trees for you to kill them, you know. I can show you one more thing in the garden that I did. I've been trying to get ready for winter and I moved some things around. I didn't want my strawberries to freeze. Y'all look at my knockouts. They started putting out roses again, which is interesting. I've never had them do that before, put out roses this late. But I remember my strawberries that were in pots over there. So I didn't want them to freeze. Naturally, if they're in pots, the roots aren't as insulated. The ground is much more insulating than those little pots. So I planted all my strawberries over here, and I put a lot of pine straw around them. So that's that. I had some, those are either onions or garlic. I don't know. Mouse melons. Yeah, they're growing out of control. These lady cream peas are still looking okay, but like I said, I'm not going to protect any of this stuff. It needs to go because I want to plant beets. And we're not going to get enough freezing temps over the winter. At least I hope we don't. I got some rainbow beets that I want to plant. And I want to plant some in that container and some in those. So, yeah. But anyway, I just got a notification that my battery is about to die. So, I'm going to let you guys toodaloo. Well, I want to show you one more thing. The watermelon is crazy. Can y'all see that? I was trying to make a watermelon in December. Anyway, that's the last thing I was going to show you guys. So, until next time, I will see you guys later.